The topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Are you a songwriter? Are you looking to turn your songwriting passion into a full-time gig? Whether you are just at the start of your songwriting journey or a seasoned industry professional, this show is made for you. Welcome to the Songwriter Show, bringing together songwriting news, interviews, and community. Now, welcome your host, Sarantos.
Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and welcome back to the Songwriter Show. I'm your host, Sarantos, a solo music artist who's been writing lyrics for as long as I can remember. Words are so important to me, and that's why I'm thrilled to host this show. I believe that every song is a story. The Songwriter Show is broadcast live on number one ranked W4CY Radio, with listeners in all 206 countries in the world and every state in America. The station is also licensed with ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, and Sound Exchange, and has partnerships throughout the music industry, including iHeartRadio, and exposure to over 300 million listeners. Tonight's guest is Neverwonder. Neverwonder came into existence from their home base of Los Angeles with a unique sound that fuses rock, pop, and funky grooves. Their music is driven by strong musicianship and is rooted in life's experiences. Welcome to the Songwriter Show, everyone.
Thank you.
What up? Hello.
What's going on, man?
So how are you guys doing tonight? I hear we have the whole band on.
You better believe it.
All right. You guys want to introduce yourselves real quick? There's four of you, right?
That is correct. So, heck, I'll go first. Vincent Ramos, the bass guitar. You guys want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go. Andres Ramos, drums. Everybody calls me Dre, though. Okay. I am Jay Wise. Well, hi, Dre. Okay. Jay Wise, guitar.
And my name is Fabienne Grisel. I'm the vocalist.
Wonderful. Well, welcome to the show. You guys have a very interesting story, and it's kind of, I was going to say, there's so many things we could talk about, but why don't we just start with how did the band come together?
So, real quick, we opened up a Cracker Jacks box, and they had the phone numbers in there, and I called them. No, I'm just kidding.
What the heck?
And we have so many new ones, right? So yeah. Here's the thing. So simply put, Dre and I are brothers. So we've been in the band for quite some time, and we needed some new members, and we went through a professional music organization to help us find some talented, great people. And Jay was the first one to fill the role as a guitar player, and we were really lucky to have him join the core of the music. And then about 3 months later-ish, we found Bob.
That's about.
Yeah, about something like that. And then found Bob, and the magic started from that moment on. You know, from the first rehearsal, and the backstory of that is we auditioned a lot of people to find Jay, and we auditioned a lot of people to find Bob, and it's been great every day since. You know.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great show. I haven't even asked you guys one question, and we've already got like 3 fans texting in with questions. So let me get to one of them. How old were you guys when you started the band?
How long have we been playing music?
No, how old were you guys when you started the band? The 2 brothers, I guess.
Mid-30s, yeah. Probably like early 20s, something like that. I don't know. We've been in a lot of bands, so, stuff like that. Neverwonder. Yeah, that's all right.
So,
that's a unique question. No one's ever asked us that question.
Well, I'm about, at this point, I'm about 75. I've had a shitload of, being from California, I've had a shitload of surgery, so I look really good.
That's right.
I think I'm the old man of the group, but that's okay.
Yeah, he's 26.
Music never ages, man. So that's fine. So I guess we got 3 more questions here. Let me read one more to you guys. Is this band making you a good living, or do you work other jobs?
Who wants that one? Go ahead, Bob.
Well, for me, we make a little bit of money with this band, but that's not my main gig. We still have to, indie rock bands or indie bands in general, we have to finance things ourselves. So we got to find other source of income, So I personally have other jobs. I teach singing, and I also do voiceovers work. And I still have a couple of days of a day job, so that's kind of how I manage my rock and roll lifestyle, I guess.
I think you hit it on the head there. Being an indie artist, right. Most people do have other jobs, yeah.
Right, you kind of have to. I mean, we do get paid for a lot of our gigs and things like that, but again, a lot of times we put it right back into the band. We have expenses, so
Sure.
So that's kind of how it works, at least for the time being. But
yeah,
the future is wide open.
That's right. So let's talk a little bit about your songwriting process. How do you guys start? Do you start with music, melodies, vocals? Is it collaborative, or does one of you start one thing and then bring it to the band? How do you guys work that?
Okay, already?
Dre.
Yeah, hey.
Hi, Dre.
Hi, Dre.
Dre,
John. Yeah, this is Dre. So it's a lot of different ways, to be honest with you. I mean, these guys have brought in songs that, are pretty close to done, and then we tear them up, or we have a beat and a bass riff, and we collaborate on that. Vocal, there's no real, say, one certain way. We've done it a lot of different ways.
Okay.
But I guess for the most part, we just kind of jam them out. We get these ideas going, and then they just kind of morph into this stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's funny because we start like, did you record that? Did you record that? Because sometimes magic just happens, and you don't even really realize it. So sometimes we're like recording stuff. You got to go through like 30 minutes worth of, just jamming, and like maybe a minute and a half of it. It's amazing, that kind of stuff sometimes. But it just depends on the thing, So a lot of different ways.
Yeah, and I think you're right about that. I think when I first started, I wouldn't record everything, and that's a mistake because you never know when you're going to find something you really like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you guys decide what makes the cut? So if you're jamming, you come up with different songs every day, week, month. How do you decide when you're going to put something out or put on a CD? Do you guys vote on it, or do you put reviews out there? How do you figure out what's going to make the cut?
Okay, that's a pretty interesting question. But there's magic with every song, right? And
Sure.
As much as you don't want to say you like a song more than others, but when you're in the writing phase of that, something will just pop out. Every when we're like Jay writes a verse or something, it's all. But each one of those, and that makes us write the song. But then after they're finished, inexplicably, you can just sit there and say, "Wow, that song is really popping." And then you kind of look at your band members and go to yourself, "Man, that one's popping. What do you guys think?" "Yeah, that one's really popping. What about that one?" "Yeah, but we could work on that." So that's kind of how it works. And it's not like we vote or, song A or song B or C. It's just, I think all of us internally look at each other and say, "We love that song. That one's going." And then we'll work on the others. And we usually, 99% of the time, we're all right in the mix of what we're doing. So that's kind of where we're at right now in the recording. I mean, the rehearsal, writing, ready to go in the recording studio phase. That's kind of how I feel, guys.
Yeah, Jay, guitar. I'll tell you what. When I first entered the band, I was set up with some songs that were just extremely catchy and extremely groovy, and just it was like, hey man, these guys are pros. So what we do in the writing process, if we're trying to match a level of songwriting from the history of Neverwonder that that can match that groove and that can match that feel. And so we're working very hard to capture that in the studio. And it's a pretty cool process. I'll come up with a guitar lick, and then Fabian might come up with a vocal line, or then the drums might start grooving. It's actually a very cool process. And we prefer to write as a band versus writing individually.
Okay. So we have another fan question, and I'm going to ask you a question based on this. One of the questions was, are you guys on tour at this time? And in getting back to picking a song, do you guys ever experiment at a live gig and say, hey, we got this thing we're working on, let's see what the audience response is, just to get a feel for, if you think you got some gold?
Okay, I'm going to answer you that one. Yes, we actually have a couple songs that is going to be on our next record that we do play at the shows already. That hasn't been recorded yet, but people seem to really like it, and that's kind of how. Yeah, definitely we do that just to see also how people respond to it, to see how it sounds live, all these things, and that's actually, I think that's a good way to also see if it's something that we're going to keep or not or what. I'm a big believer in that. To just have to go out there and play it. Kind of like comics who try stuff out. Go out one night and do a bunch of cool, fun jokes and see what seems to be responded by the audience or not. I mean, music is kind of in the same. It's no different that way. For us, at least that's what we've been doing so far. And so there's a couple of songs that a lot of people seem to really respond to when we play live, and we're going to definitely put them on our next record because first of all, we love them. That's number one. But also we seem to, the public has definitely responded to it in a very, very welcoming way.
Sure. If you guys could pick one band that you say inspires you as a band collectively, which band would it be?
Ooh, that would be a tough question to answer that.
Dre?
It's Dre's turn, yeah.
Van Halen. Oh, just kidding. That is a real good question. Wow.
Yeah.
Stumped me on that one. So
yeah.
Hey, Dre, aren't you going to say?
You couldn't pinpoint it on one. That's a great question, actually.
Wow.
Ahead, but yeah, it's a rough one.
How about a favorite band that you guys cover? Do you guys do any cover songs? Is there a favorort band you like to cover?
Yeah.
We got a few.
Yeah, we do Iron Maiden.
Hey, wait a sec. Hey, Dre. Hey, Dre, isn't you want the band to sound like the Grease soundtrack, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's it. John Travolta. That's it.
We nailed it. Okay, there.
Yeah. It's John Travolta. No, but to go back to some of those cover songs, we do play a lot of cover songs. We like Muse. We're interested in that, but we you nailed it earlier. We are very diverse in our talent. So Jay comes from one background, Bob comes from one, Dre comes from one, and I come from another one. And then we make it all together. We cook it up, and we make this Neverwonder pie. So we really like a lot of the same bands, but we're trying not to be like anybody, but being a different organization and all that stuff. But now you stumped us with that one. That is the first time in a long time. How about and then the cover songs. I mean, we're doing a lot of them right now when we do these rock and roll marathon series. We put in a lot of covers, and like Jay always says that that's the fun time to play live because we get to extend these songs out. They're say a 4-minute song, and there could be a time where Jay's ripping a solo for like a minute, and we're just like, go ahead, bro, knock it out. You know what I'm saying? We're actually allowed to rip, and we play our originals and we play our covers, and we just make them our own, and that's always a lot of fun. So I'll kick it over to Jay.
To give you specifics, we play some pretty cool grooves. We do stuff from Stevie Wonder to the Eurythmics, to the Clash, to the Black Crowes. We try to pick songs that are kind of they kind of sound like the band. We try to keep a groove going, and we try to take these songs that we can build upon and make them even better. I mean, the song that the rhythmics song that we do kicks ass. At every concert we play, people just they love it. So
true
that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're diverse. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we really are. Like you said, like we all come from different backgrounds. So that is actually what I like about this band, is that we do have very common thread, and we have a lot of common music that we enjoy and love, and we just primarily love rock and roll, you know. But we have definitely other versions of ourselves, you know, other types of music that we've experimented with or learned or studied individually before we came to this band, and that shows and that comes up and when we play together. So, which is why we're having, I think, a hard time picking just one influence. I think because I think we have quite a few. But I think overall, Jess said it beautifully. It's like we just try to find a groove that's something that really speaks to us, and we're like, oh yeah, this is a cool song to do. Let's do it. And then we kind of adapt it to the Neverwonder, sound, to the sound that we have created together, the four of us.
Okay, before we listen to your first song, do you guys all live in the same area, or do you guys have a little bit of a commute to get together?
I guess that's my shot right there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, we all have a bit of a commute. So our rehearsal studio is like 5-10 minutes from downtown LA, which is a good central part for a band. You can go to Orange County from there. You can go to LA, you can go to the Valley, you can go to Riverside and the IE, as they call it. So it's a good central location. Then, Bob's in Santa Monica, Jay's in Orange County, Vincent's in the Whittier area, and I'm in Downey. So we kind of all come from different ways, but where we rehearse kind of works, and I think that's kind of how we set it up. That way one guy is not having to, drive a ton or whatever. Of course, someone's going to end up driving maybe 10 more minutes more with traffic or not with traffic and all that stuff. It's hard to make it all perfect for everybody, but I think we've got a good rhythm, and we're sensitive to all that, and make sure that we're all, comfortable at least getting to rehearsals and doing all of that. That way we can give 100%.
Okay, who wants to tell us about this first song we're going to listen to? Give us a little what inspired it, and what do you want to tell us about it before we hear it?
Well, I'm going to go with the music, and then I'm going to let Bob tell you the story a little bit. I'll go with music, and Bob can do the lyrics and the content. Let her sell her soul there. But just the music part, when the song was created, we just created something that was funky and groovy, and the drums and bass were locked in. Actually, it did come off the bass line drum thing, and then the guitar player knocked it up, and then Jay is ripped up to another level, and it's a driving, fun, upbeat song in the sense of the music. Now, the lyrics, Bob.
Are we talking which song are we talking about here? Are we
I think it's Give It All. That's a great choice.
Okay.
Just give it all.
Yeah.
Give It All. Okay. All right. So, So when I joined the band, that song was actually already in the can. It hadn't already been written. I'm not the one who wrote this particular tune, but I really like this song. And the reason, actually, we decided on which song we were going to do, and that's one of the songs that I really wanted to do because it spoke to me. I just felt like first of all, it was a really groovy song. It had some heavier drive with the guitar. It was rock, but it has a funk undertone to it. And I just thought that the lyrics itself, it's really about, in general, relationships, the love gone bad, knowing when it is time to quit, when you've given all you got and you still see it's not working out. And you just kind of have to, cut your losses and move on. And it's kind of something that I feel like a lot of people can relate to. I can definitely relate to it. So I wanted to really sing this song. I just felt like I had an emotional attachment with this song from the get-go. And I just thought it was a little different than anything that I heard out there. And I thought that I could do it justice in some small way, doing it and singing it the way that I'd like to sing it, and bring my little, ingredients in the mix when we're recording it and when we're performing it. So that's kind of what happened with this particular tune.
Wonderful.
From a vocal standpoint.
Wonderful. All right. Well, here we go. We're going to listen to this, and then we'll come back and ask you a bunch of more entertaining questions.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, you really think we have a problem? I really don't see it all that way. Just when I believe that we are talking, you see that we never feel the same. I'm taking what you think is over. You don't need it anymore. Giving my love onto someone. This time, and alone. And so you give it all now. How do you feel of my reactions? Do think that I have gone too far? Well, that is a price that you'll be paying. If you never see the shame in who you are, I'm taking what you think is over. You don't need it anymore. Giving my love onto someone. This time, and alone. And so you give it all now. Give it all now. No. You give it all now. No. No. I'm taking what you think is over. You don't need it anymore. Giving my love onto someone. This time. I'm taking what you think is over. You don't need it anymore. Giving my love onto someone. This time. I'm taking what you think is over. You don't need it anymore. Alone. And so you give it all now. Oh, give it now. No, you give now. Oh, give it all now. You give it all
And now, welcome this week's special guest.
Welcome back to the show. So I don't know if you enjoyed that song as much as I did, but they're definitely got an interesting vibe going. I've been talking with you guys a little bit off air, and we were talking about some of the challenges of indie bands. Tell us what your biggest challenge is as an indie band.
Okay, we'll go back around the horn. Okay, so challenges with an indie band. I mean, unfortunately, in an indie band, it's all about, trying to get yourself out there. And getting yourself out there, it costs money. And money is the root of all evil in anything, in businesses or anything. But in bands, it's very, very difficult. And to pull it together, and to have you can find talent out in Los Angeles or Texas or Chicago or Miami or wherever. But it's to get the right the mental part about music, playing great music, and sticking together is a really, really thing that you want to try to focus on and try to keep together, because like we're at together from almost 2 years, or a year and a half, 2 years, and we're just starting to get really, the engine starting to run. But what creeps in is money and this and that, and everybody gets a little stressed out, and there's nothing wrong with that. But that's where bands really start striving, because they got to do recording, they got to do pictures, they got to do a website, they got to do social media, they've got to get PR, they've got to get their gear good, they got their rehearsal studio, and that basically is your R&D, is your research and development about your music, and that's the investment cost of a band. Now, we're going to be placing music and stuff like that, but that's the hard part, is money. And then obviously getting together and liking each other. That's a big hurdle. But overall, I love the heck out of these guys. But it's money is a really difficult aspect. It's not the writing. It's not the playing. It's not doing shows and doing these great interviews like yours. It's being able to keep up and investing in a band, and being a business partner is somewhat of a hard part. I could see that for some bands.
Yeah, I could totally see that. No, you talked about investment. One of the things I like to ask a lot of people on the show, because we're all trying to look out for each other, and we've all fallen for scams. What's like the scam that comes to your mind that you want to warn everybody about?
Jay?
I don't really understand the question. Can you ask that again?
There's scams out there, like, spend, $100, get on Spotify playlist, get on Billboard.
Absolutely.
Just different scams that, are out there, and they take advantage of us as musicians. Some of them very cheap, some of them very expensive. Anything you want to warn the fans or the songwriters listening to the show about?
Yeah. There's a lot of, like your show, but I'm sure your show's not like this, but there's a lot of songwriting competitions that come across our way, and that are bogus. They just want people to sign up and get some cash in there, and with really not a real competition. So there's some of that. I think on Vince's end, because he's the one that books our shows, I think that there's also a lot of people coming to him that want to book shows. But they want $500 or $1,000 for us to play for them, which is the old pay to play thing. That's the whole Los Angeles. Back in the 80s, that became very popular, pay to play. And I think Vince does a really good job. He screens all those people out so we don't have to pay to play. Again, he talked about the financial side of it. Sometimes we do have to throw in a few bucks to do it, but we got to be really careful, because Vince is pretty seasoned. He's been booking this band for a long time, so he kind of knows the warning signs, and then he throws them our way. We talk about them, and we decide if it's cool or not. And but for the most part, that those are the few scams that I would know about.
Yeah, okay. Let me chime in on one of those, which is unfortunately I've come across two, and it's producers getting a songwriter, male or female, and giving the same drum tracks to like 5 or 6 artists, and then they record the same song but different melodies lines. Say it's my song and I record it with this exact same music A, and I recorded my own lyrics as say that's the A song, and then Jay goes and records it at B, and then Bob records it at C, and then Dre records it at D. Now it's the same music, it's one bed of tracks, and it's all copywritten, and it costs the solo artist, $1,000, $2,000 to get that track. And then they're asking themselves, but then you start to try to copyright it, or you try to publish, like, that song's already done. And then you're out that $2,000 because it's already done, and you can't do nothing with the song. So I'm not saying everybody's like that, but I've definitely heard of those. And that's hurtful, because, they're out a couple $1,000. So quit, that was the one I've heard, on top of what Jay said. And obviously those are absolutely correct, but that one hurt my heart, you know what I'm saying? Anybody else?
That's horrible.
I don't want to. Oh, sorry, Bob.
No, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
Okay, but elaborating on that, yeah. So anytime, like Vincent said, kind of on the back end of that, if someone starts asking you for pay me in Best Buy cards or Trader Joe cards or Walmart cards, bad deal, you know.
Yeah, run.
That's never happened to us, but I've heard of that stuff kind of on what Vincent's elaborating on what Vincent's saying there. And the other so.
What would you guys say is the best hidden gem in LA?
The best what? I'm sorry?
Best hidden gem. Something that nobody really knows about that's a hidden gem that, you know, you guys take advantage of or would recommend to other people.
As in studios or stuff like that, clubs?
As in anything musically, to play, to studio, anything.
I definitely. So, Bob, you go for it. It's your turn.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Well, go for it.
No, Bob, go.
I'll chime in.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So two things. I now that I'm going to tell you our hidden gems. So, number one is our producer E from For the Record Studios. All right, that's a hidden gem. He's recorded some big time stuff. You will not find him on a website. You will not find him on Yellow Pages or social media. It's all word of mouth. Phenomenal studio. That our publicist Doug Deutsch does a phenomenal job. And that stuff. And then club wise, we've got great clubs here in Los Angeles. Phenomenal sounding at little places, i.e. the Locker Room, the House of Loot County, and someone's dying over there.
Somebody is doing something. We can't hear everything.
Yeah, somebody's like swishing flies. But you know, those are the type of things that I've seen, and then obviously the fan base that we have here in LA is really, really good. People are jaded sometimes and say that all the musicians and stuff, you know, don't want to go out to see shows, but a lot of the shows here in LA do get packed, but you just got to do your homework and do a good show. That's my hidden gem.
All right. I have a question for you guys. Go ahead. You got one more? Yeah.
No, I was going to say on that note of you know, the fact that sometimes LA could be a tough scene. You know, there's a whole lot of music out here. There's a lot of talented musicians, talented bands, but I found out that there's also a wonderful, wonderful musical community out here. And I've met some incredible, very supportive musicians that became my friends. And because what's happening? I feel like I'm hearing such much noise in my headphones. Can you hear it? Is that better? Yeah, it's better. Sorry about that. Did you hear what I said? Or?
Yeah, we heard you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I was going to say that, you know, I really find out that that there is a great community, sense of community also out here. You just got to find your crew and your people. You know what I mean? And I've been very lucky that I've had that for at least the last 6-7 years. And I have some of my friends who are also doing their own thing. They are indie musicians. Some of them are very doing really well. They travel, they tour, they do a lot of things. But when they're in town, they try to come see you play. You know what I mean? They try to do all these things. And I return the favor. You know, I go see their show whenever I can. Or you know, hey, Fabienne, can you do a little video for me just to announce this or that? You know, like we kind of help each other. And that's something that I've found that is really important to have, surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded, that work hard, but they're also willing to, you know, to help each other. There's enough work for everyone. There's enough music for everyone. There's enough places in the world to play for everybody. So yes, it is competitive to a lot of degrees, and it is. The music world in general is very competitive, but I think it's important to also find that community, which I think that exists in LA, that of those people that will have your back, you know, when you need them to. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
that you just got to put yourself out there and go to the shows and meet these people, and they'll return the favor. You know what I mean? So.
Sure. All right, so let's assume you guys have made it and you're in a green room on a TV show or you're backstage. You only get to pick two two pieces of or two types of food, what would you guys want in the green room for you?
Ooh. Oh, that's easy for me. That's easy for me.
Okay, is that my question? Here we go.
That's for everybody.
Go for it.
You only get two things, and you got like 20 seconds to decide.
Oh, man. I think it should be like, it would have to be some chicken, of course, some grilled chicken, and some broccoli. That would be my deal.
Broccoli? Are you guys going to let him order broccoli?
No.
Well,
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts, man. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Brussels sprouts and broccoli. Wow. I never would have expected those answers.
Lord.
Vince, what would you get?
Vance.
Vincent. Woo. We love Vince.
He's asleep. He heard
Sorry,
broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and he's just like
I passed
banging
out.
his head against the wall.
I passed out on the broccoli. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we're about to hit the stage, or it's we're gonna play Lollapalooza or something. We're in the green room, and it's an hour before the show. I'm gonna do a shot of Patron Silver chilled, just because. I mean, why not? It's nice. And then I'm gonna do carrots. No, I'm just kidding, Dre. I'm not gonna do carrots, bro.
Wow.
I'm gonna do that maybe afterwards. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have some cheesecake. What the heck?
What the heck?
All right.
Patron. Or yeah.
All right, JJ, your turn.
I think that, let me see. I think I would like a pair of isolation headphones. Just so I can actually be in silence for a little bit before I hit the stage and, concentrate. And I think I would like a lap dance.
Oh my God.
Not necessarily in that order, too. Okay. So,
Right. I get it.
But there you go.
All right. You realize the question was, what are the two things you'd want to eat, right?
Oh.
Please do not encourage him.
Yeah.
Do not.
And Bob.
Man. Okay. Besides water, which as a singer I need.
Boring.
Whatever. I'm gonna say two things that I'm sure the guys know that about me by now. Two things which actually is very bad for your vocal cords, by the way. But I got to go for that. So one is caffeine. I'm a big coffee fiend, and I would have probably an espresso, and I'm Swiss, so I'm gonna get some chocolate. You know what I mean?
It was our bed.
And cigarettes.
Yeah.
Cigarettes.
All right.
No cigarettes, baby.
We got about 40 seconds here before we're going to listen to your second song. So the last question of the night, what's the dumbest way you've been injured?
What was the question?
What's the dumbest way you've been injured? If you guys can each give us a quick answer.
What was it? I still didn't get that. What was it?
The dumbest way you've been injured.
On stage or rehearsal or
anything in your life, on stage, backstage, anywhere.
Go quick.
All right. So I'm going to say it very quick. I got tangled one time with my microphone and my guitar and my cord, and I ended up tripping and ended up in the drums and Dre's drums at rehearsal.
Dre.
It was lovely.
Dre.
So there you go.
Dre. Yeah, I've hit myself in the face with the sticks before and in the forehead and whatnot. So, Jay.
Jay's got a good one though.
Very easily. It's very mysterious, but at a rehearsal, I decided to trip and fall on my face, and not one of the members of the band saw it happen.
Nope.
But they give me shit. They give me shit about it up until this day. Excuse the language. They give me crap about it up until this day, and they keep on telling me, "Jay fell." Like I feel like this.
But like the professional that he was,
the professional that I was.
I had. Let me ask this. I had someone throw a dart up in the air 40 feet, and it landed right on my head, and it was stuck in my head. I ran home, and my mom popped it out. And then I had my foot in a bike, and I almost snapped my ankle. And then one time I did a spin, and I creamed a chick in the face and knocked her out. Those are my three.
Wow.
All right. Tell us the name of your website. Where can fans find out information about you before they hear the song?
Yeah. So it's Neverwonder.com, 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 Neverwonder.com. All the social media, just Google it. You go Instagram, Neverwonder Band, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Neverwonder. It's just everywhere in the world.
Spotify, all the
Spotify,
streaming,
download,
iTunes, everything.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're everywhere.
That's awesome.
We're everywhere.
All right, you guys. It was great having you on the show, and let's listen to your second song now. Have a wonderful night, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you for doing
I
it.
appreciate it.
All right,
for
here we
helping
go.
us.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Bye.
Got caught in the spell of your game. Was willing to trust everything you say. A year and a half has passed and no change. Saw your deceit and your manipulative ways. Think I'll break down. I'll fall apart. Think I'm weak. Yeah, I'll prove you wrong. I won't break down. I'll fall apart. 'Cause I'm strong. Yeah, I'm moving on. Yeah, I'm moving on. Can't string me along on a leash. It's broke. Not love sick puppy to feed your ego. It's for your other girls, yeah. I found out I'm being one less lie for you to worry about. Think I'll break down. I'll fall apart. Think I'm weak. Yeah, I'll prove you wrong. I won't break down. I'll fall apart. 'Cause I'm strong. Yeah, I'm moving on. Moving on. Hey, hey, yeah. Can't string me along. I can't do better. I'm moving on right now. Got my own more. You thought I'd wait around, but now I've found that I gotta get out, go, can't take no more. That's why I'm moving on. Think I'll break down, I'll fall apart. Think I'm weak. Yeah, I'll prove you wrong. I won't break down. I'll fall apart. 'Cause I'm strong. Yeah, I'm moving on. Think I'll break down. I'll fall apart. Think I'm weak. Yeah, I'll prove you wrong. I won't break down. I'll fall apart. 'Cause I'm strong. Yeah, I'm moving
Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're so happy that you joined us on this Tuesday evening. I want to thank Neverwonder for being on the show tonight. To listeners who may be artists, if you wish to be on the Songwriter Show, I invite you to just email us at songwritershow.com or email me personally at sarantos@songwritershow.com. Thank you for listening again. I hope your own unique story gets heard around the world. My name is Sarantos. Please join us next time to hear other artists share their fascinating behind-the-scenes stories right here at the Songwriter Show. I'm going to leave you this week with one of my songs released 2 years ago called Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is right around the corner in 2 weeks here. I hope you enjoy it. Have a wonderful night and stay warm.
It's almost Valentine's Day. I'm wondering out loud, what is love and why is it allowed? Love is not for everyone. Love is sometimes elusive. Love can be found. Love can be effusive. If you find love, then you know that love is real. Real is love. Love is kind. Kind is love. Love is gentle. Gentle is love. Love is pure. Pure is love. It's Valentine's Day today. The world is still round. Where is love? Is it all around? Love is all around today. True love is free. Love can be found. Love, it is all around me. Real, real is love. Love is kind, kind is love. Love is gentle, gentle is love. Love is pure, pure is love. Valentine's Day, I'll think about her no real is love. Love is kind, kind is love. Love is gentle, gentle is love. Love is pure, pure is love. On Valentine's
Thank you for listening to The Songwriter Show. To keep the momentum going, head over to www.songwritershow.com and join our free music community of artists, songwriters, and producers. That's www.songwritershow.com.